Hi, I'm here to do a deck profile here. Haven't really posted these in a while, but now that I actually have real cards, hopefully I can do it. In any case, let's just start right away. It's a hero deck, as you can see, it's a Stratos. So I'll show you pretty much my build. It's fairly standard, minor tweaks. Really, it's just typical hero deck. Hopefully I can use this at the next YCS in Toronto. And yeah, I'll just show you it. So, Stratos. The 3 alias. Obvious stuff. And the last hero is not an ocean, but a proxy. That's Bubble Man. So yeah, those are the heroes really, just the 5. Yeah, just so you know, I will be showing, I have a couple proxies, but most of the deck is there. So yeah, one Bubble Man, I'll just go over this quickly. I like OTKing with Bubble Man. I like the Blade Armor OTK with, like, Miracle Fusion and all that jazz. So I like having access to something that can sort of swarm in one turn, and that's why I run the one Bubble Man. But again, I like a more stun and control based bid, which is why I don't go overboard with 3 Bubble Mans, because then they start clogging in your hand. They don't do much other than special summon rank 4s and make absolute zeros with Miracle Fusion. So that's why I only run the one. It gets the job done really. Like, you only need one, and it also allows you to main 3 e-calls, which you wouldn't really be able to do with just 4 heroes, because Stratos, and then he searches one, and then it'd be overkill. But Bubble Man, he makes it nice. He allows you to OTK, and it lets you run 3 e-call, which is great. So yeah, those are pretty much the only heroes. Now the non-hero monsters, just 2 Thunder Kings, very nice and honest. Really, Thunder King is a good call. It's good against every deck, bar Inzectors, and Inzectors. Yes, they're popular, but I think they're going to be falling out of usage actually now that Windup did so well, and which means Thunder King just gets better. Honest, it's just really there for games where you can't win in card advantage, because face it, when you're facing Windups and Inzectors, they can do some bullshit stuff. So sometimes, say your opponent's down to 3,000 life points, they're up on you like massive in card advantage. You can do some silly shit with Honest, like drop a Shining, push for 3,200, and then just win the game like that. And other than that, it just protects your Thunder Kings from stuff like Card Trooper or opposing Thunder Kings, and it protects your alias when you don't want to use your Gemini Spark. So, Honest does a lot. Again, it conflicts with Bubble Man, but I wouldn't take it out just yet. And the final monster is, let me get this guy, Chevalier. Now, a lot of people might say they prefer Crusader, but I just don't get that. I like this. Chevalier makes this card live. Sometimes you draw this and it's dead, but with this you can search him, which is pretty nice. And he's just. I don't believe in running 3 alias with 3 sparks. I believe in 4 Geminis for the 3 sparks, and that's why I like that ratio. So I was either going to run Crusader or him, and why I like him better is because first of all, he makes Blade Armor, and he's rotoable, and another cool feature is he's fire, so you can make Nova Master with him with Miracle Fusion, which is always nice, because Nova Master is one of the better E-heroes. It's like a, what do you call that monster, or that card? Horn of the Phantom Beast built into a monster, which is always nice. This deck doesn't really have a lot of +1s or ways to draw outside of duality, so it's always nice to have access to Nova Master. He's one of my favorite E-heroes, actually. I really like him. So yeah, that's it, really, for the monster count. 9 monsters, typical for heroes. Spells, as I showed you, Rhoda, 3 e-call. Now, some people, unless you're running 3 Bubble Man, they don't really consider 3 e-calls, but I think they're good. I think they're solid enough because you have 5 targets. It's not really going to be dead. You have 4 searcher cards for 5 targets. I think that's fair, and you're not always going to get them, but really, why I wanted 3 was because you want to maximize on Stratos game 1. Stratos is your best card in the deck, without question. The deck does not run without Stratos, so getting him out first turn is always essential. And That's just I run. It's really like the two worlds sort of collide because it's like I want to OTK and I also want to run 3 ecall. So you know the fact that they interchangeably go together is awesome because I love running 3 ecall and I love Bubbleman OTK. So you really get the best of both worlds with 3 ecall. And not only that, but it should be noted that I will side out 1 game 2 because you know it's kind of expendable to get rid of. You don't really need 3 game 2 like. I usually side out the Bubbleman and the 1 ecall game 2 for more like, you know, depending on the matchup, just try to get the best of them. 3 sparks. Shouldn't really have to explain. Spark is the reason you run this deck. It's one of the best disruptor cards in the game right now. The only other thing I have to say about Spark is it does not work against Zen mains. You will not draw. You'll just get rid of 1 material, which blows like really, really hard, and if they safe zone your target, you don't get to draw, which sucks. So, as good as Spark is, it definitely does have its downsides, and I'm noticing that because I'm playtesting with my friend who runs Insectors, and when he safe zones his Dragonfly or some shit like that, it brings you to tears, really. I'm joking. Okay, yeah, I'm just getting rid of, because most of the spells are just triplicates. 3 duality. Duality is one of the best spells in the game, so this deck rarely special summons outside of the big Miracle Fusion play, sets up your shit, gets your E-calls, gets your Stratos, does everything really. Gets your warnings, power cards, all that jazz. 3 miracles. That's a miracle. Just good stuff, really. Get you your fusions, make your shinings, and now really the one-ofs. Dark Hole, Book of Moon, Monster Reborn. Heavy Storm. Some might question this when you run 2 skill drains. Why should you run a Heavy Storm? You just do, you know. Heavy Storm is good. That's all you need. That's all that needs to be said, you know. Like even in games where I'm playing in Zectors and it's game 2 and I have a Shadow Mirror up, I like using. I've used Heavy Storm to win the game because the guy's field is like a bunch of back row with Messenger of Peace, and I have Shadow Mirrors and sit. So we're at a standstill, and then it's like I drop Heavy Storm, boom, 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 get the bubble, or not the bubble man, just get some Blade Armor OTK going, drop a Miracle Fusion, and you just take the game. You know, Heavy Storm, like at the very worst, it's just an MST. You know, like I found it. Like say I have a bunch of traps and I want to sort of control the game, and they have 1 back row. It's just, you know, fuck it, Heavy Storm them. Then drop all your back row. It's a 1-for-1. It's just it does so much. You can't really not run Heavy Storm. Even if you run continuous traps, I just, unless you're like, it's like you're running like D-Fissure, you kind of have to run this card. And just the 1 MST. Now, you know, some people, they don't really use MST like in their main deck for heroes, but if you're running like stun, but I like it. You know, it just. MST is so versatile. Like there are so many cards out there that can drive you crazy, like random shit like Macro Cosmos, or you know, just random back row. Like I've done stuff like turn 1 I have a Stratos in hand and they have 1 back row. It's just MST it. It's a Solemn Warning. You know, you're protected. It's just good. I don't even know why I'm talking. It's just MST. You know, just 1 MST. The traps, Pyroblast, Mirror Force, Deep Prison. These are really the one-ofs I run, sort of. 1 Hero Blast, good against Insectors, good against Rabbit, good against Windups too, not so good against, what's that deck called? Chaos Dragons, which is why I only run 1, because against Chaos Dragons, your only target is really Lila, and random other stuff like Card Trooper and so and so. So, again, it's good. It's a +1. It's good when it goes off. It's really good against Insectors, so it's nice. Speaking of nice against Insectors, we have Deep Prison and Mirror Force. Of course, I'm joking there. They're horrible against Insectors. Again, good against Chaos Dragons. Might run 2 Deep Prison, but again, Insectors are everywhere. This card blows against them, so yeah. But it does good. It does stop Zen mains, which Insectors like to make. But again, if an Insector has gone off, your back row is gone, and that means this will be gone. So. Yeah, I don't even know what you're gonna say there, but yeah, they're good against pretty much everything except Insectors, and you know it's fucking Mirror Force. If you're running lots of traps, you have to run Mirror Force. So just some random traps. I call them like there's like in the spells there are lots of triplicates, in the traps there are lots of duos. 2 skill drain. That's a skill drain, not a Dust Tornado. it's the reason you run this deck. It stops everything, really. The torrents, you just have to know how to use torrentials. You can't just blindly use them, you know. It's a skill card, really. Like, you have to make good reads to use torrent effectively. 2 bottomless. Again, it's a good meta call right now. There's no priority. It's good against pretty much everything except Inzectors, I guess, you know. Like, even then, it's semi-good, you know. It stops their centipede plays, which is awesome. So, you'll always get, you know, you'll get good stuff out of bottomless. And of course, the 2 warnings. Nothing really needs to be said there. And finally, the big 3. These are the cards: Solemn Judgment, Starlight Road, Dark Bribe. The 3 extenders, as I like to call them. You use these to protect your back row, really. Just spam 4 back rows, and you have one of these out, and you're protected. Always nice to have. Reason I run this over a second Starlight Road is because I like protecting skill drain with MST, and that's pretty much it. And this stops not just that, but just a lot of annoying cards like Messenger of Peace, Trap Stun, Royal Decree, you know, stuff like that that just completely shuts down the deck. This gets over, and Starlight Road doesn't. Another reason I don't run like 2 Dark Bribes or 2 Starlight Road is because these cards, you know, you just need one of them. Like, you don't want to go overboard and have like so many of them. That's why I don't like really Dark Bribe at 2, because it doesn't really do much. It just controls the field, but on its own, it's not very good. You know, you need plenty of other back row, which is why I don't really like to overextend on these 2. I mean, if I could run 3 Solemn Judgment, I probably would, but yeah, these 2 they're awesome. Really, they're good at what they do. Okay, so that's pretty much the main deck. I know for a fact it's 41 cards, so yeah, pretty good, I guess. I'll show you the side. Now the main deck is kind of done, like officially. Like, that's the main deck I really settled on. I might change Honest, but that's really it. This is really, some of this is guaranteed, and some of this is sort of a maybe, but I'll show you like what the guaranteed ones. 2 Shadow Mirrors, without a doubt. You have to run Shadow Mirrors in your side deck. Inzectors, Dark Worlds, covers them both. Excellent card, really. The second Hero Blast, again, Rabbit, Wind Up, and Inzector, especially Inzector, really good. So, just a second copy. 2 MSTs. No matter what deck you run, you should be running 3 MSTs, like, total between your main and your side, so there they are. And here's really another one of my personal favorites right now is Kaiko. It's awesome against Chaos Dragons. What more can I say, you know? Like, it stops all of their Pulsars, their Sorcerers. When Kaiko is on the field, they can't remove cards from their grave from play, so, you know, he just covers that. He's got good 1800 attack, and he's really good. I'm siding him against Inzectors, because against Inzectors, you know, you can't really keep the Thunder Kings. Thunder King does absolutely nothing against them, so you got to side out the Thunder Kings, which brings your monster count from 9 to 6, which is kind of low. So this helps remedy that, because Kaiko is an 1800 body, which is slightly weaker than Thunder King, but unlike Thunder King, when he inflicts damage, you can banish their Hornets, which, you know, obviously there's Leviair to bring them back, but it really slows them down, because they gotta get Hornet with Leviair. Well, first they gotta make Leviair, get Hornet back in the grave, and they're all doing that while you have all your stun cards, you know. So it's very difficult to keep the momentum with Inzectors after a Kaiko hits you. So that's always nice. Yeah, he's good. He's solid against Inzectors. Good against Dark World too. You know, when he's on the field, they can't banish for Gates of the Dark World while he's on the field, which is always nice. And I mean, obviously they can summon stuff like Snow and then try to run over him, but again, you have stun, so you can protect yourself. And he banishes Graph. Yeah, that's the big one. Chaos Dragons, obviously I already told you, he's like a fossil dino. They can't really do anything. Their only outs are Raikos, Card Troopers, Dark Hole, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, just random stuff like that. Raikos and Card Trooper. That's all I can think of. And obviously, like, random XYZs. Wangu, you know, it's it just really solidifies my Insector matchup. You know, Wanmu's really good against Insectors, and Rabbit for that matter.